welcome to KJI. This is Mr. Bass, and as my classes have been progressing, it's kind of like the fading off of people, and I quit waiting for their timeline videos to come in, so now I'm gonna have to take over. So I didn't want to do that because I'm here on location, on vacation, and now I got to come in and do some work via Hollywood. So here is today's show. We have caught up with lots of faculty, coaches, Mr. James. We talked about things going on with everything in the situation that we're in. So they kind of update you on what they're doing, what they're seeing, and what particular sport has been affected and in what ways. And so without further ado, I believe we're going to kick it over to Trey Simmons, and he's got Coach Corbin.
Here with Coach Corbin, checking on what's going on with the Corbin family. What have you guys been up to during the shutdown?
Well, first of all, I just want to say hello to everyone out there. I miss seeing all my friends at Choctaw High School and Choctaw and Oklahoma Park Public Schools. Can't wait to get back to normal, hopefully really soon, and hope everyone's doing well. For me and my family, we've tried to be outside a lot. Got a lot of yard work done. This will probably be the best that my yard's looked in quite some time. I think I've actually had time to go and rake every single leaf in the yard and do all those kind of things. And so trying to just spend a lot of time outside, a lot of time playing with my boys, and just trying to enjoy some family time together that we don't typically get.
With spring workouts canceled, do you have any specific workouts for the team?
Yeah, we've been able to provide some home workouts for our players. We partner with Performance Course, which is the same company that does our normal Summer Pride in the summer with grades 6 through 12 each year, and they've done so the past 2 years. And so each one of our players was provided with a link through their Huddle account, which is kind of our online tool for film and whatnot and communication. And they've been able to get an at-home workout. Some of it's modified for if you do have weights, if you don't have weights, and just kind of the best of trying to make the best out of maybe not such a great situation. And so they've been provided with that and been able to do those 6-week program through Performance Course, and it's pretty challenging.
How will teams adjust and prepare if the summer camps are canceled?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm very hopeful that they won't. I'm actually pretty optimistic that I think that we'll have some kind of return to normalcy by this summer. I'm hoping June or July. Obviously, I'm not a soothsayer. I don't know anything that you don't know, but that's just kind of my gut feeling is that I think that we'll be back before we know it and be able to kind of get back to normal. If for whatever reason we can't do summer and we can't do workouts, I trust my kids and I trust my coaches to be able to prepare in a short amount of time over someone else. So if nobody, if everybody's playing by the same rules, it benefits us, in my opinion. And so that would be what I would think that how we'll be able to prepare for without it. I think that it will go over just fine, and we won't use that as an excuse, and we'll go and get after it.
Any words for the Choctaw students out there?
Yeah. My words of wisdom for students at Choctaw and just really anywhere is I think that you have been raised in a world with just constant communication, constant electronics, social media, all these kind of things, video games, all these kind of things. I would encourage you to take some time to be able to be by yourself. Enjoy this time. Try to make the most of it. Try to enjoy some time to be quiet. Try to enjoy some time to be maybe by yourself and really focus on what kind of man or woman do you want to be, and what do you want to be when you get older, and what do you want to be right now? Are you living life exactly like you want to live it? If that's the case, then keep doing it. If you're not, then maybe try to find ways to make those changes to be able to be the best version of yourself. And so I think that it's a really important time for us to be able to reflect and be able to focus on really important things, because we probably all found out through this, self-quarantine or whatever we want to call it, that some of the things that maybe we worried about really aren't worth worrying about, and maybe some of the things that maybe we pushed off to the back burner are really, really important. And so I would encourage you to spend time with yourself and try to find out what's important to you, what do you value, and make sure that you're living the exact life that you want to live. You bet. Well, I appreciate everyone having me on. I hope to see everyone real soon. I'm hopeful that we will. I'm confident that we will. And continue to stay positive. Keep your heads up. Work hard. And like I said, try to enjoy it. Miss everyone. Look forward to seeing everyone soon. Bye-bye.
So we're going to kick it over now. CJ Craig has sent in a video, but because of the system I was working with, I could not download the video, but I could only download the audio. So he's got Mr. Crowder, and he's caught up with Mr. Crowder.
Hey, CJ Craig here with Mr. Crowder. Now, Mr. Crowder, could you tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Crowder household?
Well, we have been basically doing the distance learning with me and the kids. And we've done a lot of spending time in my office, which I'm in right now. Doing a lot of exercise, walking. I do about 25 miles a week right now. I'm working up to 50. Just kind of enjoying life and laying low.
Well, with all this time, I just wanted to ask, how's the podcast coming along?
The podcast has actually been pretty good. We're using Anchor, which has a way to connect phones to do the podcast. I miss my editing software that allows me to get the sounds a little more equal, a little better. But other than that, it's going good. We're doing sports movies. All right.
Mr. Crowder, how are your classes going? Any interesting stories to share?
Virtual learning has been going very, very well. Those that have chosen to take part of it, they have done well. I think just this week, 12 people gained a letter grade, so that's good. It's going very well.
All right, finally, one last question. Is there anything that you can recommend for our viewers at home to watch, like TV, movies, video games, activities, stuff like that?
That is a very good question. I don't know if there's any movies that come to mind, but there's a couple shows that I've been watching, like 8-episode shows. One of them is Kipo and the Age of the Wonder Beast. It's got good music, and it's a unique show about humans that are sheltering in a bunker, and interesting things are happening around them. So it's kind of cool that way. And also, Tales from the Loop. It's a unique show, not based in reality. It's kind of a new take on the Twilight Zone, but definitely has a different spin on it. I recommend those shows. All right, thank you for asking me the questions, and I will see you later.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much, Mr. Crowder. Back to you.
Mr. James.
Hello, Yellow Jackets. Michael James, principal here at the high school. Wanted to take a second and visit with you just about a couple of things. Mr. Bass asked me to address a couple of ideas and thoughts that I thought I would talk about with you real quickly. First one he asked me to talk about is what I've been doing. And I have still, as essential staff, been able to come to the high school several days a week and continue to help out, get packets, plans, get things together as needed around the high school. And so working has still gone on, although on a very limited basis. I think a chance to relax has been great. I'm sure many of you I know have hobbies and fun things to do, and I've tried to take advantage of that as well. We all need more time in our life to enjoy those activities, so that's been great. And then finally, like many of you, catching up on some incredible movies and shows. Most recently, The Last Dance, Michael Jordan. I think an 8-part documentary on the 97-98 season, but it also goes back into his past, and just an incredible show, and recommend it to anyone that gets a chance to watch that on ESPN on Sunday nights. The second question that he wanted me to talk about is, how has virtual schooling gone so far? And I would just like to say that I think it's been great. Many of you participated in our virtual Spirit Week last week, which was a lot of fun. Many of you have logged on to the CHS Distance Learning Hub. Students have done an incredible job of staying up on their work, connecting with their teachers. Teachers are connecting and staying engaged with their students. And teachers have taken their roles in providing you with distance learning very seriously. Whether we are all here in the hallways together and teachers in their rooms, or whether we see each other at games, or whether we connect with you digitally and through distance learning, rest assured that we love our jobs. And our goal is to make this the best year of education you have ever had. As a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, wherever you are, our goal is to have made this the best year of education you've ever had. And we're continuing to do that. We're trying to do that by providing you with opportunities to still grow. I would like to say on that part that distance learning is a partnership. And half of that is our incredible teachers providing the engaging lessons and connecting with you, which they've done an incredible job of. And the second part of that is each student choosing to be a part of that. And I want to encourage every student to log on daily to their distance learning format, whether that's the CHS Distance Learning Hub, whether that's Google Classroom, or some other format that you're working with your teachers. I want to encourage you to do that daily. I want to encourage students to embrace the self-discipline that this shutdown means for each one of you. Self-discipline is our response to grow in spite of whatever we see around us. If we see adversity and things affecting us, we have the self-discipline to choose to continue to grow through that. So I want to encourage every student to practice self-discipline, log on daily, and to continue to grow and stay focused on your distance learning plan. Please remember, this distance learning plan is not more work for administrators or teachers just to create more work. This is for your learning. Whether you are going to be in college next year, whether you're going to be advancing in your coursework here at CHS, or whether you're going to be in the military or some other workforce, the skills that you still need for those positions need to be completed. And that's what our goal is with this distance learning, is to provide the opportunity for you to continue to grow and excel in what you're doing. Let's see, secondly is what about if this would become something that we'd have to address in the future? What kind of things could we change or correct or make better for the next time if we were ever in this situation again? And I think that's a great question. And number one, and most importantly, and I think it's been on all administrators' minds around the state, is the issue of accessibility and equitability. So some students have incredible devices that are top of the line with the fastest Wi-Fi that you could possibly get, and they've got all the opportunities in the world to continue their distance learning plan with their teacher. Other students don't, and as a public school, we want all students to have the same opportunity to grow, continue their distance learning, and to connect and engage with their teachers as they've done just when we were here. And so I think addressing that equitability and accessibility issue is most important. Many students can use their cell phone and their cellular plan. Others are limited on that. And so what kind of Wi-Fi opportunities are there for students? What about hotspots that could be available for students? There's all kinds of things that we can still continue to grow for the future, and we want to take those things seriously. Thirdly, what are some of the benefits that we can bring and that we can take from this time? And I think there's two in my mind that stand out. The first one is we've learned that there is work that can be done virtually, and it can be meaningful, and it can engage students, and it is still a way to connect. And same for each one of us and parents and individuals in the workforce. There are digital and distance learning ways that we can use through training, maybe for teachers as well as for students, to prepare us for the future. So I think we have learned to embrace that. I think the second thing that this shutdown has taught us As I stated earlier, every teacher here at the high school, every administrator, every staff member, every coach, sponsor, everyone here loves our jobs. That's why we're doing it. We want to connect with students. We want to get the opportunity to grow from what we see from students around us. We want to learn from students. But what I've seen in email after email or other ways of connecting is that students also love coming to school. Sure, some days it might be a little easier to get here than others, but overall, students miss the opportunity to come to CHS, to engage with the faculty, with their friends, to walk through the hallways, to learn, to continue in their extracurricular activity. Students want to be here as well. So I think this time has taught us to hold those things dearly, those things we take for granted, to hold on to with everything we've got, and to embrace those in those days when, sure, we may have other opportunities and things happening. Those are the days we still come to school. Those are the days we still continue to grow. And then finally, I want to address graduation. Obviously, as many of you know, our initial graduation plans had to be altered with the direction of the CDC, the County Health Department, the Governor's Office, all those things. We had to change those initial plans, and we have currently scheduled graduation for July 13th at the Shawnee Fire Lake Event Center in Shawnee, Oklahoma, for July 13th at 7 o'clock. And I can't say how excited I am. This group of seniors have done an incredible job. I want to say to each and every one of them that they are special. This class has made a difference here at the high school, and this school will never be the same because of what they've done, and we want to honor each and every one of you. And so July 13th, we will have graduation at Shawnee Fire Lake Event Center at 7 o'clock. So make plans for that. We are also moving forward with the virtual graduation. We will have that date coming out soon. It'll be in early May, but we're making those plans now as we need to, and so we will get that information out soon with the virtual graduation. It'll be online. You can watch the videos and learn from them. I do just want to say that in this unprecedented time, our seniors deserve all of the honor and everything that we can provide for them. Like I said, it's just been an exceptional group and a special group, and we're committed to honoring them in whatever way is best and whatever way we can based on the guidelines and what's around us. Finally, I just want to say to all students out there, as well as any parents and anyone connected with CHS, just a reminder, emails are free, calls are free. If we can help in any way, I know that this time has been just especially difficult for lots of people. If there's anything we can do at the high school, either for your distance learning plan or just to help individually, please reach out. We're committed to the success of our students as well as our community. So if we can be of service to you in any way, shape, or form, remember, emails, calls, however you're connecting, all those things are free, and we want to hear from you. Hope each and every Yellow Jacket is doing great, and we wish you the best in the future. Can't wait to see each of you again. If you have questions, please reach out to us. We're happy to answer them. Take care.
Take it away. All right, thanks, Mr. James. We were able to stream the one and only baseball game, I think, that we got to play. So Choctaw had the perfect season. We were 1-0 before everything got shut down. And so I was able to send some questions over to Coach Hott and talk a little bit about baseball to see, how things were going there with the spring sports being canceled, for seniors in particular that, we're trying to get to the collegiate level, that got stopped. So, for those kids, we want to figure out, how would they be able to try to get a look at a college, if anything that's come about because of this new system. Okay, so the paparazzi, I can hear them taking pictures of me in the background there, but don't mind them.
Good morning, Choctaw High School. Good morning, Adam Bass. I've got the honor to answer a few questions coming from Mr. Bass during these times. The first question was, what has the Hawk family been doing during this quarantine time? I think like everyone else, we've just been kind of sitting around, just kind of playing the waiting game, enjoying the comfort of our home, enjoying the fact that we've still got each other and still got the ability to kind of live our lives somewhat normal during these times. We don't get to get out like everyone else. And so a lot of staying home, a lot of schoolwork at home, and outdoor activities for the kids in the backyard, and just kind of, watching our favorite shows and playing the waiting game and seeing what's going to happen next. But other than that, we're all safe, we're all healthy, we're all engaging in activities that center around our family and our family concept, and still just trying to maintain somewhat some normalcy in this whole process. So what is some of the struggles for us not being able to, and for me not being able to play our season this year in baseball? As everyone knows, I'm the baseball coach at the high school. Generally, probably leading up to, we were scheduled to go to Florida this Saturday before this all hit. I believe I had talked to Mr. Reed on Thursday afternoon and said, hey, a lot of stuff's going on, but we're still cleared. I talked to the coaches in Florida for this trip, and everything was a go. As of Thursday night, the Thunder game hits, and all the shutdown stuff starts happening Thursday night with their situation. Friday morning, I get to school, and I get a call in the first hour from Dr. McCarron and Mr. Reed, both kind of talking about the situation, talking about Ben had a trip planned as well to Nevada. We had a trip planned to Florida. A lot of activities going on, and that we weren't canceled yet, but you might want to make arrangements. This was by 8 in the morning, and by noon, everything had gone off the rocker and gone off the walls and shut us down. So I pulled our boys in that day, just said, hey, right now it's Florida was a no-go. And so a lot of the seniors, a lot of guys had been planning for that trip for a long time and really felt pretty crushed right then, but we didn't know and didn't have the realization of the actual impact this was going to have on the whole country and the whole world at the time. So then we get the call of, we're just going to be shut down for an extra week after spring break's over. And so trying to keep our guys focused on staying ready when we can't be around, and trying to maintain some of that, our health and our readiness to play. And it just kept, the dominoes kept falling over and over and over again. Schools kept shutting down. We shut down. We went to an online school, and it's just like it was total shock. And I'm still kind of dumbfounded at where it all went wrong and where everything shut down. Our basketball girls, their state tournament got taken away, and so they got a full season with the exception of finding out if they could dogpile on the basketball court at the end. And we played our first game against the defending state champion Edmond Santa Fe Wolves at our place. We had a big turnout for our crowd, and our football program and our wrestling and our basketball and our track and all of our sports and our drama, and everyone's been affected, and our band has been affected so greatly. But there was a great sense with this 2020 class of unity. Everyone was involved. Everyone was supporting each other, and that's something that you can't, really get back. Maybe, hopefully, our younger players and our younger kids watching kind of learn from their leaders. Next question is, do we have any guys that are going to move on to play college baseball? We're lucky enough to have a couple sign. Jordan Brewer, who committed and signed early with Cali County Junior College. Powerful JUCO up in Kansas. It's going to give him an opportunity to keep developing. They really do a really good job with pitchers. They'll keep developing and hopefully get a chance to move on to a 4-year institution once that 2 years is up, if he doesn't get drafted first. Cooper Harris committed to play at Wichita State University. It's a powerful D1 school here in our area, in our region. That's one of the top probably 5 in our region between Wichita State, Arkansas, OSU, OU, Texas Tech, TCU. those are the big ones around our area that a lot of players go to try to advance. And so they have a great opportunity to continue their education and also continue playing baseball. Coop also had a great chance. He had a really good chance being one of the top probably 300 players in the country of getting drafted professionally out of high school. And so with the way this quarantine stuff's going, I don't know necessarily how they're going to handle the draft and how that's going to work out and how it's going to play out, but he does have the good backup plan to play collegiately at Wichita State. Also, with the way we carry our team and the way we try to really focus on academics with our guys, most of our seniors have a great opportunity to continue on their education, whether they're playing baseball or not, just because they take the classroom so serious and the testing and the grades. We've been academic state champs several years in a row. And so Thad Williams, he was a senior that was a quarterback shortstop for us, is received the Presidential Leadership Council Scholarship at UCO, where he's going to continue his education in the health field. Wes LeClaire, another great senior guy, is going to continue his education in the health field. Chance Barlow is a senior pitcher for us that had a lot of unanswered questions due to the season being cut short, so there's no telling what he could have done. Same thing with Caleb Davidson, a senior right-handed pitcher. Cade Sanford, he had signed for football and was a 2-3 year starter for us and had a shoulder surgery to kind of repair some tears in his shoulder, and so he was gonna continue on for us and try to get back towards the end of the season. And Caleb Taylor is going to go to Cali County to be an athletic manager, which is kind of cool. He really helped us along the way. Our senior class in general, 2020 was really special. Brennan Tomlinson has a couple schools looking at him still that he's going to work out for when they get the clearance. So he's got a chance to go on and play some college baseball as well. So overall, our whole school has a great academic process and athletic process for these guys to be successful between our counselors and our teaching staff and our principals. They have a lot of opportunities that come up over the course of their careers in high school. So we're excited for those guys to get to continue to move on and do some great things for their future and watch them build and grow as they continue into being young men and develop into their own families. So do we have any off-season workouts for our players during this time? Drills at home they can do. We've been pretty fortunate enough to, beforehand, we did a lot of different things before we actually take the field. Our guys, from their stretch routine to their catch routine to the drill work that we do, they can take home with them and do in their garage, which is really nice for us. A lot of offensive drills, tee work, dry work, a lot of defensive drills off of a wall and ground ball work, fly ball work, working the things they need to work, those specific skill sets they need for the baseball field, ladder drills, hurdle drills to really work on their hips and their footwork. It transitions to all the things that we use. So we teamed with Performance Course as well, our football program, and Coach Corbin did a good job of getting those guys in here and helping us with a weightlifting plan and program. And those guys have sent specific programs not only to football, but to basketball, to baseball, to track, to tennis, to whoever that wants a program for their players. Performance Course has stepped up. They've got a Facebook online program right now that we got for our guys, and all I had to do was log into Facebook, see the workout for the day, and do it. I've sent them different, and we've sent a throwing program from Coach Morris. We sent conditioning programs. We've sent links to purchase cheap things like broom handles and plastic golf balls to continue working on their swings. If they can't get out, they can do it in their garage without tearing stuff up. And also Twitter and YouTube. There's just so much you can access online to help you in these times to kind of stay healthy and stay ready and stay going, but there's only so much you can do without your team. So a lot of it's going to be on their heart and their individualism and what they plan to try to accomplish and try to move on and what they try to get out of it. So we've provided several things for them. So we're just, there's no perfect way to track what each of the 50 baseball kids are doing. We just put the content out there for them and hope that they continue to do what they've been doing before we left, which was, taking ownership in some of their workouts and, and continuing on. This like I said, this group of seniors this year for our whole school, I had a back surgery and they, when I would sit out on the sideline, these seniors would lead the stretches, they would lead the practices, and so they were pretty equipped to do things on their own without someone directing them, without someone trying to lead the way. Do you need to have that leadership? Absolutely. Do you need to have someone kind of guiding and stopping and putting forth, extra motivational things? Absolutely. But these guys had enough drive by themselves to get stuff done. And so I'm thankful for that. And we all got great families. So plenty of things for them to do in this time. We've encouraged them to continue their classwork, continue their online learning, because once we pick back up, the scouts are going to look at that. Did you do anything for your online school or not? And so we keep encouraging them and floating content to them as much as we can. So, but thank you for this time. Thank you for having me on. I hope everyone's safe. I hope everyone's healthy and enjoying this weird, odd time with their family. I'm sure a lot of people are getting stir crazy, but that's all you can really do is just keep kind of doing what you're doing and maintaining. Stay at home and do what you can. So thanks again.
And we also, before we wrap things up today, we caught up with Coach Maloney. And if you remember that Thursday, right before spring break, the girls basketball team was in Tulsa, ready to go to play their first round of the state tournament against Tulsa Union. And as we all know, things just ricocheted across the country, shutting down. And so they had to turn around and come back from there without even getting to get on the court. So we wanted to catch up with Coach Maloney. And so Coach Maloney, thanks for joining us. What have you been up to since this has gone on?
Hello, Choctaw. It's been a while since we've got to speak and see each other. What have I been up to? I will show you. I've been up to... That is Lillian Reed. We've been hanging out quite a bit. It's been very nice. So we've been enjoying some time, working in the yard, playing around, and having a great time. Okay, Coach. Also, kind of take us through the ending of the season with what was going on, what occurred, what was in your head, what was the team feeling, thinking, all that kind of stuff. The end of basketball season was pretty unbelievable. I mean, we get to the tournament and we're at ORU across the street eating, and we get the word that it's not going to happen. And we just got on the bus and came straight back home, and I really haven't seen anyone since. And we've been in quarantine. So it was a tough end of the year. I feel terrible for all the spring sport athletes. At least we got to compete this season, and we had an experience in that. But for the spring sports that didn't get to compete this year, it's just terrible. And have you had any off-season work for the ladies? Is that something that you've been able to start? I hope the girls have been doing well. We've been in contact with each other through Google Classroom. We've done a little bit of brain work, but as far as their athletic stuff, it's pretty much been on them to do it and stay ready, because who knows when this thing's going to break. And hopefully we get a chance to play some summer basketball, do some leagues and some team camps. Also, one last question, Coach. How have your virtual classes been going? Classes are good. We've been kind of finishing up our content. We were a lot further along than fortunately we're pretty far along in the content in the book, so we just have about 3 or 4 chapters to finish up, because we were speeding to get to the state test that we now don't have to take, which would be probably about right now is when we'd be taking them. So we're just gonna kind of finish up, get all the way to the present, and hopefully they have a pretty good understanding of what's going on. Bye, Choctaw. See you hopefully in August. Okay, thanks so much, Coach. This is Mr. Bass from Hollywood.
and I was probably one of the cool little stories. I was actually filming probably one of the only productions, where very few, if there was any, that were under the radar. Probably one of the last productions in California that got shut down in the film world. So that was pretty cool. So that's my claim to fame, and that's why the paparazzi have been coming around taking pictures of me out here. So anyway, stay tuned for next week's show. You saw we caught up with some of the guys at the high school. Next week, we're catching up with some of the female faculty, see what the ladies have been up to and what's going on from their perspective. So thanks for tuning in, and be safe.